Hello YouTube! This week's topic is to impersonate a YouTuber, and I chose I Talk to Snakes, whose real name is Christina Horner. She was in a band, a wizard rock band called the Parcel Mouths, which are awesome, and then she was in another band called All Caps. She's all over the internet, and she's also in a series called Jump Hunters, which is also awesome. So I thought I would be her, and yeah, but I can't put on an American accent. I'm not going to try. I've also got a bit of a blocked nose because I've got really bad hay fever, so I'm going to sound a bit ridiculous throughout this entire video, but that's okay because Christina Horner actually has a bit of a nasally sounding voice. Not bad like this one, just slightly nasally sounding voice, so it kind of goes best. Hello YouTube is also kind of her catchphrase, so that's hers, that's not mine. But I thought what I'd do is, she has started doing this new series of things called What I'm Into videos for each month, and instead of doing it in the classic beauty guru way, she just does it over all sorts of stuff, which I find really awesome. So this is the stuff I'm into, that I was into for June. One of the first things was French movies. I have always liked French movies, but this month I got a chance to rewatch my favourite ones and watch new ones, especially in French class, and I just fell in love with them again. Amélie is probably my favourite. It's so great and it's so good, and if you're into French movies, that is a great one to start with. It is a 15 rating, just to warn you. Another one I watched that was kind of psycho is called He Loves Me Not, and it's about a complete crazy psycho lady, and it's definitely interesting and worth watching. So that's that, French movies. But Faulty Towers was something I actually got for Christmas, and when I first got it I was a bit like, thanks Dad, thanks, because I kind of judged it on the cover, which is something I shouldn't do, but I steadily worked my way through the series, and in June I kind of reached a climax and rewatched all of them, and I realised how absolutely fantastic and hilarious it really is. The main character, Basil, he's one of those characters you just want to strangle. It's definitely worth watching, and it's timeless. It's really, really good. Another book I read is Wicked by Gregory Maguire. When I was 9, I watched it in theatre, and at the time I begged my dad to get me the book. I never did get around to reading it, which is probably quite lucky considering it's not very appropriate for 9-year-old children, and some of it still made me go, oh, I shouldn't be reading this. But it's amazing. It's got the right mixture of politics and animal rights and human rights, and it's just perfect completely. You don't realise how perfect it is until you read it, and it's made me really want to go back and watch Wicked in theatre again. It's definitely worth the read, though I warn you, I went into the book expecting it to be completely fantasy and quite childish. It's not. You need to definitely have the patience to read it through and kind of soak it in and wait for it to kind of sink in. Though you can read it quite quickly. I think I read it in a few hours. That's how it was, one of those books. My dad took me to the theatre to see a play called Blood Brothers. Now, it's quite famous. I'm pretty sure it's in Broadway too if you're in America, and they will probably put it on somewhere. If you get the chance, go and see it. It's set in Liverpool, and some of my family is from Liverpool, so I connected with it. And it's set in the 1970s, in the middle of Depression. And though, like all musicals, it is quite cliche, and I was a bit disappointed with how obvious the storyline was. It's definitely worth watching, and I enjoyed it. The music, as most musicals, was great, and the direction was completely faultless. If you get the chance, go and see it. If I know, I saw it in the Phoenix Theatre in London. If you're around there, it's quite cheap as well, which is good. And yeah, it was good. And last but not least, the thing I've been saving till the end is the web series Job Hunters. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about was the job series. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about was the web series Job Hunters, which I mentioned stole this idea off completely. Is in that web series playing a character called Avery. The web series is basically kind of a mixture of the Hunger Games and some other stuff. It's very good. It's not that long either, so you can watch it in quite short breaks. They just finished the first series, so you won't have to go through what we did go through, waiting desperately for each episode to come out. I'm pleading for a second series soon. Go watch it now if you haven't got the chance. Definitely, it's well worth the watch, and it's definitely exciting. I think the acting could definitely be worked on and improved, but it's good. Another web series that I'm fond of definitely is the Lizzie Bennet Diaries series, which are amazing and I love completely. even if the way they evade most of the characters and questions makes you just want to strangle someone. But I know most of you on this channel should be watching that, considering it was mentioned in a Vlogbrothers video. This is already probably incredibly long, and it wouldn't surprise me if the camera has shut already, so I will be leaving you. Goodbye, YouTube!